Howdy ho, neighbors. Hope y'all are doing all right today. This treetop woodworking again. Just going to do a little bit out here, and hope y'all come join me as we just make a little sawdust. Maybe. Well, actually, I'll be working on these flutes today. I'm going to get down, take a Forstner bit, and flatten out a place to put the block and make the track in. Try to get that done, and I may take a spade bit and try to get to them mallets today. I'm not sure. Just to get as much done as I can on a pretty day like today anyway. While I can. Hearing sirens in the background there coming from town. Hope everything's okay there. But we're going to get in the building. It's probably pretty cold in that old building because it ain't heated or nothing. But look like it got enough sawdust. It'd be good and insulated, don't it? But anyway, we'll get to it. Try to get y'all set up in there.
Grab us a couple of these and see what we can do. Thought I had one that was done down and around for a while, but I don't see it nowhere. Squeeze in here. She's got a hole. I'm going to have to patch. Get the light to hit it for you. Getting this set right is a trick now. That looks about good right there. Might get to recorded like that. Can't hardly see because the camera's right in front of my face the way this is. And you get the idea of it now. Flatten it down. Of course, I can take a file and I'll flatten that off more. I usually do use a file. A friend, seen him sometimes, and if I had one extra one laying around, I'd do it. Take a brake shoe or something, you could burn that down flat. And you got a good piece of metal, burn it down flat. And it makes a good deal, nice and flat also. But I usually use a file, flatten her off. That turned out, see how it's got it centered, about where I want it. Get the light in here. This lighting is not very good at all. Here, there's some good light. See how it turns out there. But that wood, that red cedar just looks amazing. Just amazing. Well, get some more of these done. But I'll get back with you when I get the rest of these done. Well, I got them all done here. This one was one I had done months ago. And I almost messed up on that, as you can see. This hole was further that way and nothing further this way. You can straighten that up by moving your thing this way when you burn the hole. And move it that way a little bit and you can straighten that out. But that's one thing you don't want to do. Or try not to do. Try to keep them straight in line. I don't know why I didn't drill them no better than that. And another thing is try to get this flat. See, mine's at a little angle. And you can still work with that, but you need to try to get that flat across. Same way your deal's running. You just get a little better flute that way anyway, I think. But yeah, this is one I had done. Let me show you some of these others in the light. I mean, they really look good. You can just see the shine on them, and I've not put nothing on them, just when I took them off the lathe. Ain't oiled them or finish wax or nothing like that. That red cedar is just awesome. Anyway, yeah, they really look good. Sure do. You can see these turned out good. Holes are in the center, not one side or the other. It's just beautiful wood, that cedar is. But I'm going to have to try to get set up and get me a spade bit here. Here's the bits, if you can see them for the dust. These spade bits is what I'll be using, 1 inch. The very bottom of the handle is like 1.5 inches. And then I go down to 1.25 inches to make the long part of the handle. And then the part that goes through the mallet head is 1 inch. But, and that's plenty there, it's just right. But this setup too, I'll have to, last time I had to move the bottom piece on the bottom of my drill press. I could go down so far, but then I had to kind of leave the bit in there, but raise the bottom up a little bit in order to go down through the bottom. And you can put your piece of wood in underneath it too, so that way you go into the wood and not in anything else. And I'll show you my setup when I get it fixed up here. See you shortly. You can see my setup here. What it is, my press only comes up so far, so I had to take this piece plumb away. Then I have to get this started and only lift it up a little bit at a time. I've did it twice, and I'm almost all the way through. And I could take a drill and put this spade bit on it and just go on through, but this is just as easy for me right here. Just got to watch taking off again when you start it back up. Here's everything so wobbly. Now here's my setup here, and had to undo this because it wouldn't go up high enough to get it as much as I could like this. I've got it just almost as high as it'll go here. and it still won't me to go a little more than halfway through. Just ain't got enough travel on it. But I'm just going to do these like this, and I'm going to finish it off putting my drill, my hand drill, and just drill it the rest of the way out. I think that's the easiest and the safest way. Can't exactly remember how I did it the last time, but we're going to try it like this. Get started up here. It was about right in here. Just finish that off with a hand drill. Go ahead and drill the rest of these out. Next time I get a drill press, I'm going to see if I can't find one with a little more travel on him. This little one, they'd probably go all the way through it, but I'll go down the other way on it too, though. Yeah, have to do it the same way. We'll go ahead and do these oddballs. And this bit is just a cheap Walmart Hyper Tough. I hate that brand for the things that I've always had to use it for anyway. I don't know how many of them sanders I burn up. It was more than one, I know that. What I was going to say, those Hyper Toughs, for the price, they do pretty good. They get the job done anyway. I got that just a little bit off center, I think. Again, it was an oddball. I don't even have this marked. Just guess at the center on it. It's a oddball too. Now, I could have, well, don't exactly have a way of holding it, but that wood lathe, I've got a drill hook up for it too. Let's see. Did I didn't get the other oddball or what? Guess I did. Yeah, and the next ones I do if I go off another batch, I'm not going to make this edge as big. I don't even want half of that. No more than half of it. I think it looks a lot better. Just took too much. I took a little more off this and then I did the rest of it. But yeah. See, like this in here, it looks a little bit better. A little less took off of it. I would even take just a little bit less than that. Well, kind of. That's almost right there, I guess. Spade bits do okay for what we need them for today anyway. Now, last time I did these, once I got through once, I may have scooted this back around and tried to hold it in place. I can't remember if I made a little deal to hold them or not. But if you was going to do it and had to move that, I'd try to clamp something to hold that in place. That way it wouldn't jerk around with you, because what you'd have to do, you'd have to go ahead and start it in there. You have to go ahead and start it in there. And you'd want it to kind of hold it in place. So you'd have a hand to, you can still hold it with your hand a little bit, but you'd want something else holding it, not just free-handing it as much. Now with that hand drill, I don't think it's going to be as bad, because you are going to be holding it with your hands. more control. And if you got a vise, yeah, I'd put it down in the vise for sure. Not too bad I didn't have some kind of jack underneath the bottom. Just jack it up as you go. And I guess you could figure out some way of doing that too. Now, if I can't get these with my hand drill, I'll come back and rearrange this deal and get it, because I got it the last time, so I know I'll be able to get it this time some way. In whatever way I do it, y'all need to do it how you want to do it. The way you think is safest. Spade bit each down through there pretty quick. Sure wish I had a little more travel on my press. Get it done one whack. One more here. We'll be half done anyway. Yeah, as you can see, I've only got maybe 2 inches of travel. That's all I got. Well, let me go find my drill and I'll get back with you. We'll see how that works. I'll find my drill. Let me get a drink of coffee here before we blow something up. I don't think it's going to be that bad though. I thought that was loose. That ain't no good. Should old kind use a chuck there. It would be a lot tighter, I think. No wonder we wasn't getting nowhere fast. Can't get as much leverage like this either. That's terrible. I think it loosened up again. It doesn't tell. He wants to charge my battery up 2 or 3 different times. Because it's cheap. Black & Decker. This ain't even gonna get it. The battery's about to give away the way it is. Almost through it though. Golly. Almost through it. May have to stick it back on the drill press and try to get her done. So what I ended up doing, I went ahead and starting this best I can, turning this back around, putting me a board under it. And holding on for dear life. And again, this is how I'm doing it. Not telling anyone else to do it like this. There's other ways you can do this. all the way through or not. Almost did. Can you see get some light in here? See a hole? See daylight. It's right there at the edge. But anyway, what I had was this 2x4. It's a little bit thicker, but I couldn't put it right under it then because it was too thick and the hole wasn't deep enough. So I actually got to do it a couple different times. Once with the skinny board. I don't know why this. Oh, now I see what I'm doing wrong. And you can tell when it gets all the way through, it starts jumping around a little more. Kind of a backwards way of doing things, but it works. As far as the bottom, you might get a little bit of tear out, but that's going to be the bottom, and you sand that off a little bit. And again, it's going to be the bottom. This will be the top here. Let's see. 2 of them done, like 10 more to do or something like that. Go ahead and get this oddball. See? Yep. Let's see. We got some more tear out. But not too bad. Again, you sand that off, and that's the bottom of it then. And a man might put tape on that and not get as bad a tear out. Don't know. And if you took your time and put your board down and had it locked in place and keep this from moving around as much, you'd do better off too. But for these mallets, not too worried about it that much. It's something fun to make. The Thor deal is kind of cool. Especially when the T I put on them instead of Thor. You know, my name's Terry anyway, so that works out good for me. Now, the only thing about doing this inside is you see what a mess it makes. I'm going to be cleaning up for days. See, it only took a hair. It's a little bit more to go all the way through. it would sure be nice if it had a little more play to it. A little more travel. Go to Hawaii and back. Might as well let y'all watch me struggle with one more. The struggle is real. And just like that, we're through again. And again, that's the bottom side. And the top. Well, I'm going to go ahead and finish these up, and I'll get back with you here in a minute. Well, we got them all done. All of them turned out pretty good and centered. There's one oddball here. So is that it? Where is it at? That's it right there. Yeah, the rest of these centered pretty good. Front and back. But we got an oddball here. It's the bottom that you don't hardly see. But this top is off too. I don't know how it got off that much, but it did. Anyway, still be good to give to someone, give it a little kid. And see, I got one more. These are 3.5 inches, and I just don't have that much play on my that much travel on my drill press here. So I had to do it like this. Kind of hairy, I know, but it ain't too bad. It's just when you first start it up, you gotta have a hold on her. This is the last one. I figured I'd take you along for the ride. It ain't too bad. You ever got let off of it a little bit, it can get a little hairy. Smoking. They're bottomed out. So we're digging for gold. Black gold. Texas tea. What are we doing here? What we doing? We need 2 more. Jed, move away from there. I ought to get it there. Done went through. Good deal. That was the last of the Mohegans. I think my Forstner bit. Get it in the light here. I think it's dull. Now see what I use mine for. That very centerpiece usually got a point. I file that down because I don't need that, and it just makes a place that I got to deal with in the top of my flutes. Now you may leave that and deal with it as you wish. And but I file it down or grind it down. I can't remember which one I done. And I try to stay away from my blades, of course. Not hit them. I'm going to have to hit them with some kind of sharpener though, my stone, I guess. They're getting a little old. I've got a new one. I just hate to break it out. But you see, this one turned out good. Good and centered. Top and bottom. Even though I had to move it a little bit, you can still kind of move it up now and you know you're in the center pretty much when it's not hitting the sides. Not hitting. Hit and miss. 10 of them things. Goodness. Well, all I gotta do now is turn the handles down. Don't know if I'll get that done today. I got some more moving some chairs around I gotta do. Got some chairs that come from the church we was attending before it closed, and they mean a lot as far as what they was used for. Got a picture of our old pastor too, Gary. That's really the only thing I wanted, but a friend of ours, she wanted to give us those chairs. It was actually her chairs that she brought from home. But she wanted us to have them, so they mean a lot too, you know. But well, we got her done. Well, we got her finished up anyway. I thank you for hanging out and making a mess with me. We sure enough made some sawdust, that's for sure, if we didn't do nothing else. But got these done. One thing I like, I'll probably put these I guess you call them blanks, hammer handles. I could just put them on a lathe like this, but I've already got a round over bit on my router, and I can just run these through so fast and knock them corners off. That way, when I do put it on the lathe, I won't have much work to do at all. Just have to bring it down so far. Usually leave me a handle and a little bit smaller, 1.25 inches, and then right before the part that goes up through the mallet itself is about 1 inch round. I try to aim for. Again, let's see. Here's what we're aiming for. These mallets here. You can see it. They really do turn out good. And you see how these are littler. They're not hardly as narrow. As wide. These are almost perfect. You wouldn't want them no wider than that. I wouldn't take off no more than that. Because it looks really good like that. But you see what I mean? The handles
about 1.5 inches here diameter, 1.25 inches, a little or bigger, a little bit. But down here is 1 inch, pretty much all the way out, the part that goes through there. But yeah, they turn out good. And of course, I put my emblem on there, T. But I'm glad you could come spend a little time with me today and hang out and have a drink of coffee. But I'll let y'all go. I don't have quite enough time to pack all my stuff out there, and these days are so short. I can't wait till spring gets here. I just and it's days get longer. You spend more time outside. All that. It's nice that way. But yeah, I tried this with the drill. This one just is not good enough, so I had to go back and use the drill press there, and I showed you my struggles. Didn't want to hide nothing from you. But again, I thank you for those who have subscribed. I thank you, those who have liked my channel, commented. And if you have any questions, just let me know. If I can answer them, I will. But sure been good hanging with you. I'll see y'all a little further down the trail.